everyone, I'm Noreen and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have a delicious side dish for you. This is my version of KFC Coleslaw. Our favorite version of coleslaw is from KFC, but we don't necessarily like what they might put in theirs, so we're gonna make our own. This is as close of a flavor to theirs as we can get, and I know you're gonna love it. Let's go see how this all comes together. Go over all of the ingredients for our KFC Copycat Coleslaw, and I'm gonna take you step by step through the process, and it's super easy, so don't be scared. If you like KFC Coleslaw as much as we do, you know that it's hard to find an apt substitute for it. Now, I have already done a video of a similar recipe many years ago, 6 to be exact, and I'm gonna redo that video right now because the quality is bad and I took too long, so we're gonna just make this as efficient as possible. And what you're gonna need is a small head of cabbage. Now, a coleslaw is, there's not a lot of exacts. I'm gonna give you exacts with the dressing, but you can see that this head of cabbage fits in the palm of my hand, and it's not like enormous. You want a nice small head because it's gonna be sweeter and more tender. And I have a 1/4 of a head of red cabbage, and this cabbage is approximately the same size as the green cabbage. Red cabbage tends to be smaller anyway, so we're using a 1/4 of a cabbage of red. I have about 2 cups of baby carrots, or these are baby shaped carrots, that I had in my fridge. I thought I had some regular carrots, but I don't, so I just filled up the pint jar with carrots, and we're gonna put those in. We're gonna run all of these through the food processor and chop them up, because KFC coleslaw is tiny little chopped coleslaw. It's not stringy coleslaw. That's one of the reasons we like it so much. And then we're gonna make the dressing. And the dressing is gonna start off with a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise of your choice. Today I'm using Duke's mayonnaise, which is really prevalent in the South. A 1/2 cup of sugar, about a 1/4 of a cup of sour cream or buttermilk. I don't have any buttermilk on hand, so I'm going with sour cream. About a 1/4 of a cup of milk, about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, a 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar, and 1 small sweet onion that I grated on my box grater. And this ends up being about, whoops, probably splashed the camera there. This ends up being about a 1/4 of a cup, so 4 tablespoons. And we're gonna season everything up with a teaspoon each of salt, pepper, onion powder, and celery seed. So I'm gonna go ahead, clear this, bring over the food processor, and we're gonna chop up all of our veggies. All right, we've gone ahead and we've chopped up the red cabbage, the carrots, and 1/2 of the white cabbage. And you can see how pretty that is. Like they say, you should eat the rainbow, right? So this is gonna be super healthy for you, and it's gonna be super tasty. So I have the other 1/2 of the cabbage in the food processor. And the reason I've done it this way is because, take my mistake and learn a lesson from it. Don't put your whole cabbage in the food processor. I thought I was gonna save myself a little time. In the end, it took me extra time because you don't wanna overload it. Otherwise, you're gonna turn the stuff in the bottom into water, and the stuff on the top isn't gonna get chopped up. So make sure you leave plenty of room in there for it to move around. Just go ahead and pulse this until it's chopped. Perfect. And that's just how you want it. If you have little pieces like this, don't even worry about it. And make sure you stop and let Scotty outside. Okay, I'm just gonna pour this in this big bowl, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna whip up the dressing. All right, I'm just mixing all the cabbage and the carrots together just to get a nice blend. Now listen, if you don't like red cabbage, leave it out, but I wouldn't skimp on the carrots. And if you don't like as much red cabbage as I've used here, then only use 1/2 of what I use. That's entirely up to you. I like the red cabbage in there. I think it's pretty, and I think it's tasty. So now what we're gonna do is make the dressing. We're gonna have a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, a 1/2 cup of sour cream or buttermilk. I don't happen to have buttermilk on hand today, and because I'm already using milk and vinegar in this recipe, I feel like the buttermilk is there to add a creaminess and a little extra tang. So I'm gonna use sour cream, which I think is the next best thing. Here's our medium grated onion. Now what I did with the onion is I grated it on my box grater and then I put it in a strainer and I kind of pounced out some of the liquid. Half a cup of sugar. 1/4 cup of milk. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. 1/4 cup of white vinegar. And all of our spices. Onion powder, salt, pepper, and celery seed. And then we're just gonna whisk. And then I'm gonna give it a taste to make sure it meets our tangy level, make sure there's enough sweetness. That's it.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's really easy.
And don't leave the onion out either. Leaving the onion out is a mistake. In goes this dressing, and we're gonna give it a good stir. If you think the dressing is too runny, wait until you get it in with the cabbage, okay? Because the cabbage in that is gonna start absorbing it in there. And then all the vegetables, they're gonna release some of their liquid as well. So you're gonna want to let this sit in your refrigerator for at least a couple of hours before you eat it. I am gonna give it a taste right now, just to make sure our flavors are okay and make sure that everything is balanced out the way we want it. I can tell pretty much from the dressing that that's gonna be fine. And we're gonna stick this in the fridge for a couple of hours, and then we're gonna come back and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, we are back and it's been a couple of hours and our coleslaw is ready to go. The cabbage and the vegetables have given up a lot of their liquid to the sauce and it's perfect.
It makes it saucier.
Oh, it really does. It makes it delicious. So, are you ready to taste this?
I have to.
Oh, yeah, you have to. This gives the this gives everything time to mellow. Oh my gosh.
That works.
And all the flavors come together and they become one cohesive taste. This is going to be perfect on the side of just about anything, people. Or on the top of a pulled chicken or pulled pork sandwich. Your choice. Or even a barbecue brisket sandwich. I love to put coleslaw on a sandwich. I think it's delicious. And when you make it like this and it's chopped instead of stringy or grated or shredded, you don't get that problem with it all coming out when you take a bite. Because it's nice and chopped and you're not going to have a problem with that. It might fall out, but it's not going to pull out when you take a bite. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And I don't hardly ever make this, so I'm really glad I decided to go ahead and make this video for you guys. I hope that you liked it, and I hope you give it a try sometime soon. If you liked the video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you are new today and joining me for the first time, welcome. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you are already a tried and true member of the Noreen's Kitchen family, make sure that you hit the bell notification button because we don't want you to miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present all the time right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope you give this KFC Copycat Coleslaw a try and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.